Oh, sunshine. Look at this. Here we are in the glorious Lake District. Take a look behind us. Just looks like an autumnal day with the bracken that's just all orange there, but just over the top of this we're going to have a complete different world, which is going to be fantastic because it is covered in snow. So excited about getting up there and finding a place to pitch a tent on the summit of Blencathra. Although I do have some micro spikes with me, the ice axe is on, everything I need really, but it's going to be a nice calm easy one. Walk to the summit and then relax back with a beer on top and take in hopefully a nice sunset. We will see. Anyway, let's get up there. Look at this. It's a steep climb to get to this point, but already you can just see all the mountains in the background, all snow covered. And look at this sun just pouring through the clouds there. Just fantastic. I've got a right sweat on though, I've got to say. To say it's about freezing now. Yeah, it doesn't take much of an effort going up a hill with a heavy backpack on just to get this sweat thing going on. Well, it's a long steady walk up to the top of Blencathra, but it's a beautiful one. Once you get up to a bit of height, you get to see all the way around. See all these people up here as well. Just above them, that's Sharp Edge. I'm not doing that today, but there's Blencathra covered in snow, looking stunning, quite imposing up there. Well, after gaining a bit of altitude, it is starting to get nippy. It really is. What a difference in temperature. And as we come up here, you can see we end up in the shade, which the temperature will drop even further there out of the sunshine. But oh, look at this, look at that. Is just Sharp Edge looking as fine as it can. I won't want to be doing that today though, no chance. Definitely a slippy one. Ah yes, look at this, just fantastic. Well, I wasn't wrong about that temperature drop. It has plummeted. It's gonna be a cold night. Very cold. There's quite a breeze coming through as well, which doesn't help. So the wind chill factor is definitely going to be minus sort of 15, I would have thought. Oh, sunshine again. Just for a second. And we turn a corner, then back to the cold. You just look at the snow underfoot. It's not too bad, just very powdery, a little bit of ice underneath, but not too slippy. I don't need to put my spikes on my feet yet, but it's not long, we'll be at the summit. Don't know if you can see a silhouette of two people up there. They're stood on the summit now. It's going to be fantastic. Sunset too. That's why I'm here. I'm going to take this sunset in. Never guaranteed, but always want to hope for, definitely. Whoa, just coming towards summit now. This wind is just freezing, absolutely taking it out of me. So I'm going to have to be very careful up here. Make sure that I've got all my kit on to keep me warm. Bitter, that's not the only word for it, just bitter. Well, here we are, stood on the summit of Blencathra. The wind is strong, it's a strong steady wind. I brought the drone but there's no chance that's coming out. But you can see down the valley here, still sort of see, but if you turn around, complete clag that way. So this cloud is just rolling in and covering me over, which is no good because I like to have a view and I want to get this sunset. It's trying, it is trying. So we need to get out of this wind, which means pitching the tent. So let's go look and see if we can find somewhere to pitch a tent. It's fairly flat up here. It's bitterly cold though. My God, it's cold. Well, I've just walked down off the summit and I found a place to pitch. A nice flat area here, and it is by this tarn here, which you can't see because it's frozen over. But it's just slightly less exposed here than what it is up on the summit. So it is time to try and get this tent up. The problem is this ground completely frozen. So we're gonna have to dig the pegs into the ground, I think, but it's all part of the fun, eh? Right, let's get this tent done. There we are, pitched up pretty much perfectly, I'd say. It looks pretty good, nice and tight to the ground. I put the toe end at that side, so at least it sort of throws the wind over the top of it a bit more as well. Oh, but looking good though. I think we'll be solid enough. Let's get inside then, eh? Woo. Right, we're in. It's really cold and I'm sat on the frozen ground. So always the first job for me, get your mat pumped up. At least you keep your bum off the floor. And once I've got that done, it gives me a base just to work from. If you look at the dog though, it doesn't bother him at all. He just lays on it. Hey Blue, you're not bothered. Oh, it's chilly, it's a cold one. But nice to get that mat up, and now I'm sat on that, that makes a hell of a difference. Whew, so next job, I'm going to get all my hot gear on to keep me warm. Oh, down trousers and my down jacket. And then at least I can go out and enjoy the outside and sit out for the night with a beer, hopefully, if it stays clear. Quite excited. I've got a couple of beers. I have got, this is so nice, this one. This is the Brewdog Triple Hazy. So it's quite a strong one, that baby. And then another one as well, which is Layer Cake by Brewdog. So yeah, a couple of beers, that should be nice. And hopefully I just get this sunset, that's all I'm bothered about now. Here we are, in all the gear, some Rab down mittens. I love these because these go over the top of my gloves. Down jacket on, and then these down sort of Celopet bottoms. So now I can sit out here and be nice and toasty warm. It's really cold though, really cold. I might have to get my ice axe out in a minute and smash a hole in that ice over there into the little pond thing, and then the dog can have a drink out of it, because there's nothing else up here apart from what I've brought up with me and a couple of beers. Didn't get the sunset I wanted, so I'm having to brighten the sky up with my Phoenix head torch. Still beautiful though, still amazing to be out. It's nearly a whiteout, it's pretty much all the way around, just white everywhere. I've got about, I don't know, 50, maybe 80 metres visibility, that's all. Ah, yes. So, time to get in. I'm going to get myself a beer. I feel like I deserve it. Relax back and have a beer. There we are, eh? On back, dog. You just chilling, eh? Here we are then, back in, ready to drink a beer. Let's get this cracked open, eh? Oh dear, that is good. I'm not one for promoting beer at all, but every so often just a decent beer, just, oh, it's just wonderful to have. It really is. It really is. My God, I'm going to enjoy that. Yes, on top of a mountain, enjoying a beer. Can't really get much better than that, can you? While I was walking up, I met quite a few people actually, a few sort of subscribers as well, and I got chatting to this couple, and she asked me, do you think that there is I suppose like a higher force or something that's put all this here for us to enjoy and help us make us happy? And I was like, no, I think what it is, it's always been here, and what we've done nowadays is we've been taken out of this happiness of just being outside and enjoying life and being part of nature, and we've been put onto this man-made lifestyle, the society where we're reliant on other people to help us survive, and we're reliant on just being on tarmac. There's, you know, things like that. I mean, what is that about? Living a life on tarmac or carpets. All just like manufactured junk that we don't really need. And what's happened is we've been taken away from this happiness of being on mountains and just enjoying the real world, and then we've just been plonked over the last sort of 1,000 years into this, where we're just, yeah, taken away from it, and it just makes us generally an unhappier population. And this is what I like about it. I just want to get out and restart my brain and embrace all this and just be part of it and just make myself happy by being out doing this. Yep, society has got a lot to answer for. I mean, how many forms have you filled out in the last year? Why do we have to fill forms out? Why do we have to sign to people and other things? You know, and this is why I like getting out and doing this. It's just the freedom away from all that misery. Yeah, that's what it is. And look, there's me and Blue just chilling out, no one to answer to, drinking a beer that's manufactured, but enjoying life. That's what it's all about. Just getting out as much as you can, away from society, and enjoying life. So I'm going to drink this, sit back in my chair, and just contemplate that thought process. We'll see you in a bit. Cheers. It's barely a breath of air. Unbelievable, because it was wild earlier. Anyway, this is the calm before the next storm, I think, because it's given 50-mile-an-hour winds at 4 AM. So I am going to open my second and final can of beer, which is, strangely, it's like a pudding, marshmallow chocolate stout. I'll have to let you know what it's like. Holy hell, that's exactly what it is. I mean, all my down gear, I'm laid on the Thermarest Extra mat, and there's no heat loss through that at all, hardly at all, honestly, because it's got such a high R value. So that's good. And I'm also in my Rab Neutrino Endurance 600 sleeping bag, which I've had a lot of years, and it has done me proud as this thing. It really has. I remember the first time I got it, and it was in winter, and there was forecast to like -8 one night. So I went outside, put a bivvy over the top of it, and slept in my garden just to see if it worked. And I thought, it's going to be really cold, I best be careful. So I put on like extra layers, and I'm not joking, I woke up sweating, so I had to take all the layers off, chuck them outside, and then yeah, continue the night just in my like thin bottoms and thin top. So definitely did the trick. But yes, it is worth spending the money on the decent kit, because I tell you what, it has your back. It really does. Yep. Calm before the storm. It is exciting though, isn't it? So exciting just to be out and just have to deal with whatever the beautiful Mother Nature throws at you. I'm going to sit back and relax, take all this in a bit more, and then, yeah, be prepared for getting battered in the morning, which means what I might do is just pack up everything I sort of can ready. So if I need to escape quickly, it's a sort of safer way of doing it, really. There we go, fed the beautiful Blue. And he's just cracking on with that one. And I'm going to now attempt to cook something. I don't really know what I've got, but we'll see, we'll see and find out, won't we? So I have found out I am eating a mince beef hot pot, which I actually really like. It's quite warm to eat, you know, like one of those sort of comforting meals. But I'm adding with it rice with a mince beef hot pot. Don't judge me. Well, I have poured some water into this pot. I've sort of set myself up ready to, oh god, I'm struggling with this. Ready to boil me some water. I just had a complete, without swearing, shit me moment, because the last camp I went on, I had a lighter, but it got damp, so I put it somewhere and I don't know where it is. So I was looking around thinking, I can't physically light this stove. So this minced beef hot pot, which is a dehydrated food, I was thinking I'm gonna have to just snort it or something like that. Anyway, luckily I found a second method, which I generally do carry, so I'm quite happy about that one. So let's get this lit and get this water on. There we go. All is good and happy on the summit of Blencathra. Well, I'm doing something that I wouldn't advise, and that is I've put the bag of rice in the water that I'm boiling to fill this meal up. And the thing is, I was just thinking about the chemicals potentially in the packaging that might actually just sort of end up being in that water that I'm going to then consume, which potentially I am poisoning myself. So not the best idea, I would say. So what I'm going to do is, before this boils, I'll take it out, so at least it's preheated a little bit, ready to add to the other part of the meal. I don't know, it's just a food for thought and all that. Here we are then, let's turn this off. Boiling. Ouch. Ow. Open that tent door a little more just to let some of this moisture out. Nice and hot. Let's get this meal filled up. It's always hard to judge how much you need in these. Get it mixed through. You've got to make sure you get all the corners in this, because otherwise it's just a dry mess if you don't get it all. And I'll add a tiny bit more water in this because I'm going to add some rice in. Mashed potato and rice. I'm the future of cooking. I know what I'm doing. Bit more water. Let's pile some of this in, which is quite warm already since I preheated it. The battery died. Anyway, I was saying that I have got my meal all ready, sat in this lovely bag. It's a nice hot water bottle while it does its thing for 10 minutes. Nice to just sort of keep your hands warm. But it is made with the potentially poisonous water from the packaging, boiling that up in that water. I think it'll be fine because it's food packaging and all that, but you just never know. So if you find this footage, please just make a video, bang it on YouTube, and then hopefully it will still do really well and get 1 million views. Not bad. Not bad at all. You can see the tent's getting a bit flappy. It's given sort of 30-mile-an-hour winds all night really, but come 4 o'clock in the morning, there's this storm front coming through again, which is it's gonna batter this, and I have to make sure that I'm sort of ready for it for definite. You know, this tent is an awesome tent and it will take a hell of a hammering, but you get all these people saying, oh, like, tents are bomb-proof and all this. Certain tents, no tent's bomb-proof. If they were bomb-proof, they'd be using them for, I don't know, you'd be using them in wars, wouldn't they? They'd be like, they'd wrap like a Fiat 500 in a tent and send it off as a tank, wouldn't they? So yeah, definitely no tent is bomb-proof, not at all. Well, it's getting a bit flappy in here. There's gusts coming through that are really almost annihilating this tent. So hopefully we can stand strong till the morning. But the wind is just bringing, if you can see there, look at all that. Just snow just sitting on everything. My boots as well. Look at this. So I'm going to get out and just check out what it's like out there. Hellfire, it's wild out here. Proper crazy. The wind's changed direction as well, so it's hitting the tent sideways on, which isn't good. But it's it is a snowy one for definite. Wow, what a change, eh? I mean, it was breezy before, but just now, oh, hellfire. Yeah, if we look here, this is snow on the inside. Well, it looks like this tent's going to take a pounding tonight, it really is. The storm is definitely coming. Anyway, I will get myself as many hours sleep as possible, and we're just gonna have to deal with it tomorrow because that is all we can do. So I've got my kit sort of half packed away, so at least it's a bit quicker in the morning if necessary. And yeah, that's it. Happy days, eh? This is what life's about. Just gonna embrace it, get on with it, and you know, when the shit hits the fan, just deal with it. That's all you gotta do, just deal with it. So here we go. Look at Blue. He's all snug. I've wrapped him with my down jacket over the top, and he's got the foil blanket on as well. Hey Blue. Unfazed completely. Anyway, it is time to lay this lug. We will see thee in the morning. It is really, really coming in now. This is brutal, completely brutal. There's moisture here as well. Wind isn't the problem anymore. I need a paddle. Look at this. What the hell am I going to do with now? In a river, there's just water everywhere, like 3 inches all the way around everywhere.
Who'd have thought it, eh? Pitched on top of a mountain at 830 metres above sea level, and the mountain is solid frozen. All of a sudden, a weather front comes through, starts raining, raises the temperature by about 10 degrees Celsius, and everything melts. And all that meltwater decides to run straight towards my tent. The wind is pressing the bathtub design flat down on the floor, which is allowing the water to flow in at one end. So here I am, trying to let the water out at the other end. Bailing, but not failing.
Well, I'm a bit unsure what to do now. Either I get out and brave the weather and take the risk of getting off the mountain in this wind and rain, or I stay and just wait for daylight, which is probably the safest option. But my problem is at the minute, this keeps filling up. So all this, it just keeps filling up, so as soon as I let it out, it's back in again. It's literally a river running through my tent. That just shows you, you've got to be really careful where you pick your tent pitch. This is one I would never have thought about. You live and you learn, eh? A river running through the tent. Me and Blue are both on my mat, which is just keeping us off the ground, which is good, and out of the water. But this isn't sustainable. The bathtub design is working exactly like a bathtub. The worst way of having it, eh? I think on this pole here, a guy must have come out because it's just got quite a lot of movement. Still standing up pretty strong though, considering. But yeah, honestly. I've got the dog under my knees, so he's on the mat with me, and my sleeping bag is over the top of him. So we're both warm, and that's the main thing. And I'm just going to ride this out until that sun starts to show a little bit of light outside, and then it's a case of just getting out there, shoving everything in a bag, and seriously escaping the mountain. This pole above my head has snapped, so it's just nearly laid on top of me now. Not much I can do apart from just ride this out, really. At least the wind's sort of passing over the tent a little bit better now. So yes, I can just sit back, relax, just wait another hour or so. Well, it's light enough to get outside now, but that rain and wind will just not stop. So I'm going to try and gather my thoughts and gather myself together, get all the clothes on that I need to put on, and then I'm going to shove everything in the bag, take the tent down, get off out of this mountain. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. great battle that was. I didn't know. We're down. And now it's a case of getting off the mountain. Leave no trace. Hellfire. Wow. Just wow. I'm just off the back of the mountain now, and it's a nice steady walk back, and this is one reason why I chose to come here, just because there's nothing edgy on the way back. It's a fairly straightforward walk down, but just wow, that was incredible. It really was. I have never in my life had a camp as bad as that. Storm Arwen was just a piece of cake compared to that, seriously. Oh, right. We are going to have to continue down. Well, there it is, the end of another, what's the word for it, horrific adventure. That was intense, I'd say, but thoroughly enjoyed it. We're both back down safely, and to me that is totally living. But to be honest, there's times like that where, you know, things can go wrong, you've got to adapt quickly. And I was on a boat pretty much on my thermarest, just floating with a river running through the tent. I know there's videos out there that are worse than that, where rivers actually pick people up and taking them down, but oh man, that was the hardest camp I've ever done by a long way. Storm Arwen, that was just a breeze compared to that. It really was. That was just raw and epically crazy, really. So if you've liked the video, give it one of them. Definitely a crazy one, definitely one to remember, and definitely one to sort of show people out there that sudden thaw is also an issue. That was just unbelievable, it really was. Anyway, until the next one, we'll see you another day.